Gentlemen of the press, it is with profound sincerity of purpose and commitment to peace that I address you today. I stand here with mixed feelings, a feeling which is a reflection of the ugly incidents in the last week in Abia State, as well as that of gratitude to God for His usual intervention in our affairs as a people. The event of the last 1 week demonstrated how vulnerable we can be when we lose faith in ourselves and allow short-sightedness as well as primordial sentiments to control our judgments and action. It has also shown our weakness in communal bonding and social protection. In unambiguous terms, the occurrence has further reaffirmed the need for communal capacity and commitment to deal and respond firmly to emergencies and threats to our daily lives as a people. The time to own public assets in our various communities cannot be better and earlier than now. As a government, the unfortunate incidents have created an entirely new vista and window to deepen our collective concern in the affair of our people. We have had a robust review of the totality of inherent challenges. They are, no doubt, surmountable with commitment and political will. Notwithstanding the odious and abhorrent activities of hoodlums who almost succeeded in creating havoc in our dear state under a genuine and legitimate agitation by our youth, there are indeed opportunities that could be maximized for good governance. Without doubt, governments, including the federal and the subnationals, have noted more areas for focus and attention. As a state government, we had already taken the first bold step by setting up a judicial panel of inquiry to look into police brutality. Now, this, in our view, remains the most veritable template to build on as regards the future relationship between the police and the youth in particular. The careful selection of members of the panel reflects the determination of the government to tackle the problems comprehensively. This was done in line with the key demands of the genuine agitators, aside of the disbursement of EndSARS, that perpetrators of crime against our people must be brought to justice. This underscores our total support and commitment to the ideals of the promoters of the legitimate and genuine EndSARS protest. However, events witnessed in the state in the last few days are worrisome and deeply disheartening. The loss of lives in some cases, as well as the mindless destruction of public and private properties in Akure Ondo, Ore, Okitipupa, to mention a few, cannot receive accolades under any guise. They are totally reprehensible, condemnable, and hugely misdirected. We are convinced, beyond any reasonable doubt, that there is more to it than meet the eyes. Based on preliminary reports which I have received, I have decided to undertake and I undertook a tour of affected areas and saw the assets destroyed. This trip was made alongside with security chiefs. I have seen with my own eyes. I have seen the painful destruction of public assets such as the High Court complex in Okitipupa, local government secretariat building, shuttle buses for school, also all in Okitipupa, several police stations, vehicles, offices, banks, markets, as well as assets of private individuals. Of note is the Okitipupa Correctional Center, where inmates, including convicted ones, have been released. We particularly express our sympathy to one of our illustrious sons, Engineer Ife Oyedele, over the malicious and senseless damage done to his residence in Okitipupa. The burning of my campaign office, as well as the APC and PDP secretariats, is another dubious dimension which gives credence to affairs that the genuine motives of the original protesters was hijacked. I have since appealed to all to refrain from reprisals. We note with gratitude the effort made by both political parties within the divide, alongside with the youth of Akure, at ensuring that the tension downs within 48 hours after the frightening dimension. On my part, and without prejudice to the cause of justice, I have overlooked the ugly incident of damage to my campaign office, as I regard it as one of the painful prices paid for leadership. Nonetheless, these unfortunate incidents across the state have once again brought to fore the need for tolerance. That is the way to go. As a government, ours is to continue to discourage retaliation of any form or reprisal in any manner. No two wrongs, as the saying goes, make a right. Gentlemen of the press, what we have witnessed in the country as a whole appears to me to be a reflection of a deep-rooted anger by our unengaged youth. It has laid bare the failure of leadership in some ways, and no one leader is innocent of this. Clearly too, no single individual, including our vibrant youths, is insulated from blame. In the same vein, the blame cannot be restricted to a period of time. We are all guilty, collectively, of this accumulated burden. It is in this regard that more shall be done in Ondo State for our youth. We shall focus more on entrepreneurship and self-development of our youth. The government is more prepared than ever before to provide good atmosphere for human capital development. Similarly, our technical and vocational education sector deserves attention. In a matter of weeks, government shall, alongside with stakeholders, have a critical appraisal of the sector in order to strengthen it for maximum benefit of our teeming youth. All over the world, vocation have made more meaningful impact in society. We are aware of the dangerous dimension which some of us are struggling to infuse into the Ondo State share of the current national concern. I must say, this is also worrisome. For one, unless we deploy our individual ingenuity to a collective drive for purposeful action, no one, and I repeat, no one is exempted from the looming consequences of divisiveness and mischief. Already, our children are built to return to school after the destruction of occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic surge are back home. Having assessed the situation in the last few days, we are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that our children must still remain at home for the time being. Let me strongly condemn the poor, divisive, and revisionist video by one inconsequential individual by name Adeyinka Gossin, which has gone viral. In the video, he claimed to be giving Igbos an ultimatum to leave Southwest region. The video is not just senseless, it's a product of an agent of destabilization who does not even mean well for Yoruba land. Igbos, like every other tribe in Southwest, are free to go about their legitimate businesses. They are enjoined to disregard the useless ultimatum. At this juncture, I must appreciate the good people of Ondo State for the swift perception given to the ugly incident as very untoward. Your insight, new views, and opinion were very helpful in dousing the tensions. This has assisted in no small measure in relieving our people who do not deserve the punishments imposed on them in the last few days. This has also helped in dousing the tension that was foisted on our people by mischief maker, field economists, who desire to take undue advantage of the supposedly legitimate demand. Accordingly, I want to call on our communities to take maximum advantage of the fresh directive which has been given to our security agencies to deal decisively with criminal elements who are bent continuing their onslaught. Our people and our communities must bond together and establish local vigilantes or properly network with security agencies to protect lives and properties. Let me stress that what most of you regard as government properties that you have allowed our youth and some miscreants among us to destroy do not belong to government. The moment such properties are located within your community, it belongs to your communities. The properties belong to you. Those that have been destroyed are your properties that have been destroyed. You have to learn seriously from this. Things must change from today. We must see properties within a domain as ours. Government can be far from you, but those properties are located there for your sake, not for any purpose. Let me note the relentless effort of our security agencies. The brigade commander, the commissioner of police, director of state services, commandant of the civil defense, and Amotekun Corps, as well as other stakeholders who deployed uncommon ingenuity to nip this crisis in the bud, in particular in Akure. We are grateful to them. Let me thank you all, and God bless Ondo State. Do you have any question? Anybody can ask. Go.
Sir, having gone to actually see the level of damages done by the programs who have done the EndSARS protest, you have told us your impression, and you have also said that the campaign office that was destroyed, that you have just allowed that. Sir, in all of this, what would be
that I've just what?
The campaign office that was damaged? You said you just allow it to be,
okay. Okay, I thought you said I'm just out of it. Go ahead.
So, in all of this, what will now be the position of government as regards those that were apprehended, that actually performed that act? And what will be your voice as the second question for the leaders of the South Central District under whose eyes this incident took place?
Thank you. Let me start from those who are apprehended. I can assure you, they will face full wrath of the law. There is no going back. It's not issue of amnesty or forgiving. We are not forgiving them. And I can assure you, that we have only arrested few. Many more arrests will be made. They will pay the price. There's no, and I said it there. I said, notwithstanding what the law will do, I'm ready to forgive about destruction to my campaign office. Fair enough. But those who are involved in it will soon hear from us. Very soon. Now, when it comes to whatever advice I have for my brothers in Southwest, we have been meeting over this every day. Southern Central District, okay. Leaders, well, I've spoken to them. I thought we were talking about Southwest. Southern Central leaders, fair enough. I've spoken to them, and I've asked them to make sure they get their people together, and that their communities should take possession of those properties. The sad thing is that they have destroyed shuttle buses. How the children there will get to school is better imagined. They have destroyed court halls. I can assure them there are cases prosecuted in Akure for some time to come. All this destruction is totally meaningless. Totally meaningless. So, I've warned them. I hope they will take to correction. You can always sit down and hold meetings with the youth in your area and let them appreciate that destruction will bring no fruitful or useful thing to the community. So I believe they understand now. I know that they have started meeting with them, and I believe that they will try. They will probably be in position now to rein in those boys, because you need to have dialogue with them, as I've done in Akure. So I call on not only in Southern Central District, every district. I know that a lot of things were prevented from happening because of dialogue. The Yoruba came in and called people and had dialogue with them. So people have to do this constantly so that you can prevent such occurrences. Yes, give him.
Good morning, sir. My name is Additional Joseph. I report for UIT. I know that government has been the most affected with destruction of the properties, research in their property. One of the private individuals that their properties have been destroyed, damaged. Is there any way the government is looking to the fact that setting up an emergency trust fund to assist them?
Well, there are individuals whose properties were destroyed. I give an example. I know of the APC Secretariat. I know of my campaign office. They don't belong to us. We have landlords. They belong to those people. And I've asked them, those people whose properties were destroyed as individuals should let us know. They can go ahead, do evaluation, and bring it up. We are going to set up a committee. We are not setting any emergency trust fund up. I'm going to set up a committee that will assess those damages and recommend what to be paid for private individuals whose premises or properties were damaged. They will be adequately compensated by government from government fund. That's all.